Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is February the 15th, 2018. My lucky day, and it's been a good day for me through the years. It really has been. This is one of my lucky days during the year. I think I said this last year also. Anyway, strong hand, the 20%, the few, the proud. All right, guys. So just going to be a quick little show today. I wanted to point out yesterday's show was only done about was it 12 hours? Very recently. Very recently. It's nighttime here in Darwin, Australia. So check out the links below to check out yesterday's show, because you probably haven't even seen it yet since it was done around a little bit before midnight Eastern time. Now it's 9 a.m. Eastern time here. Well, not here, Darwin, back in Baltimore. Here in Darwin, it's 11:30 at nighttime. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Friday Eastern Standard Time, This Week in Bitcoin, Money Triggs is going to be on it. Giuseppe Studo will be on, and someone else will be on. We'll talk about all of the great things that have happened this week in Bitcoin. I see Russell is in the chat right now. Russell, I sent you an email. You got to check it out, man. I actually can only see the faces in chat. If you want to ask me a question, do the super chat. I'll answer your questions that way, people. But I did see Russ's face out of the corner of my eye there, and I hope that's him at least. All right. Here's a funny tweet that's out there that I linked below. Always check out the link section below. Again, you'll see yesterday's show. All my recent shows are linked to below. But there is a hilarious tweet out there that shows all of these screenshots of people who sold when Bitcoin was at the bottom in terms of fiat price. And all these people screaming, Bitcoin is a Ponzi. I'm out of here. I'm buying bullets instead of buying Bitcoin. And all of these impulsive people making impulsive moves, typical 80%ers, but it's funny to look at. The person put together a pretty funny compilation down there. So yeah, check out that link. I also wanted to remind everyone, and this is a community note, because I think these gatherings, these meetups in cities like Los Angeles, like the one I had in San Diego, like what I had in Taipei, they're great. It creates this bond between cryptocurrency Bitcoin fans, whatever you want to call them. But it's a networking opportunity. So on April the 17th, I am going to be in Los Angeles. You can buy the tickets for the event, the meetup in Century City. It is listed below. I will answer all of your questions there. I will be there before the event. I will be there after the event. I'm not getting out of there till all your questions are answered. You can ask the people who were there last time. It was a blast for any of you that are in Southern California, in the Los Angeles area. Come on out on April the 17th. The link is below. And again, I made a video about this right after I did the last one in Los Angeles back in January, and it was inspirational. You're meeting the real people, and it's just definitely networking. You come away with new friends, and it's awesome. And I don't know, I'm not going to say cryptocurrency is all about making friends, but for some people, it's going to help some people make some friends. So come on out, and you'll get your questions answered. You'll get an energetic time. I mean, I bring the energy like no one else out there in this space. You can't doubt that, man. It's pure, healthy energy. So pound that freaking like button, people, with your freaking strong hands, with all of the conviction when it comes to Bitcoin. So there have been two or three people out there on Twitter in the comments section. They asked me, why do you call Monero V? Why don't you call it MV? Like you call B Cash, or like B Gold, or B Private. And no, I'm not going to call it MV. The reason is there's only one Bitcoin. Maybe there's going to be more than one Monero, okay? There's going to be a Monero V. There's only one Bitcoin. Every other cryptocurrency out there, not every other one, I'm not just every other one that tries to call itself Bitcoin. But every other cryptocurrency out there is a copy of Bitcoin. It is the highest of the high. There's going to be multiple other altcoins. There'll be multiple Litecoins. We'll get that into a second. We'll get into that in a second. Bitcoin is the king. Every altcoin is a copy of Bitcoin in a way. It is the winner. It is the rock. It needs to be above all others, respected more than all the rest. So, I mean, I put it on a pedestal there. I'm not going to I'm only going to call one coin Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. That's it. I mean, it's a simple answer, a simple way. Now, of course, some of you are going to point out, well, you called Litecoin Cash L Cash, and you are correct. I did do that. So do I think more of Litecoin than Monero? No, that's not why I did that. I did that because I'm used to calling B Cash. I see this thing called Litecoin Cash, and I'm like, L Cash. It's more so I did that because I'm not a big fan of what B Cash tried to do. I'm not a fan of King of the Trolls. I mean, there are some nice Bcash people out there, but it rolled into my nicknaming of Litecoin Cash. I called it Litecoin Cash because of my Bcash thoughts in my mind. So it bled over into the L Cash. Still, the main point of all of this is there is only one Bitcoin. So I'm not going to call something MV. I'm not going to call. Yeah, there's all sorts of other ones that are going to come out. I'm going to call them what I'm going to call them. Okay, Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, all the ones that try to use the Bitcoin name, be something or other. Here we go. Some guy just sent me $10. I think Swiss francs, 10 Swiss francs. Excuse me. And Narco Alfonso, thank you very much, dude. Idea of Lightning Network, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, and could have channels between parties that trust each other and therefore don't have to load any Bitcoin on this channel. People could turn trust into money, and then in parentheses, transaction fees. Dude, you're an entrepreneur. Do it. Implement it. Just don't talk it. Get some people together. Go to a live event or tweet it out there. Try to network like we're going to do in the Los Angeles event on April 17th, but you're not in. I mean, I can tell you're outside the country, but dude, there's a good idea. Monetize that thing. Spread the word. Maybe it can be done. Maybe it can't be done. I'm no technical expert. Put it out there. Throw it out there. When you got a good idea, throw it out there. That's my advice. And I appreciate your 10 Swiss francs. I appreciate your ideas. Thank you very much for doing the super chat. And I'm going to mention something about Lightning Network in a second. So many people are excited about Lightning Network. Okay. And I especially in San Diego, where I got asked about it 4 times in a row, basically. But all over the world, people are excited about this. And I can tell you're excited about it too if you're coming out with these ideas. A lot of people are coming out with original ideas. So once this is all implemented cleanly, and it might take until 2019, there might be issues until then. But be patient, people. This is revolutionary stuff here. This is revolutionary stuff. And I'm so happy to be in it. So thank you very much, Anarco Alfonso. Pound that freaking like button. Check out the link section below. Subscribe to the channel. Get this Cryptograffiti shirt and other shirts. And of course, Trezor, Ledger Nano at cryptohwwallet.com. All sorts of discount codes in the link section below this video. Whether you're watching it on Steam It Live or you're watching it on YouTube, taped, whatever, check it out. Okay, here's a tweet that I thought was funny. Roses are red, violets are blue. Taxation is theft, and inflation is too. And we're going to talk more about inflation at the very end of the show. So stay tuned. Okay, so people get the price of Bitcoin in terms of dollars is approaching a big round 5-digit number again. And I tell people don't get obsessed with these. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Now, the first time around, when we got to this number, I talked about it just because it was momentous. It was 5 digits at last. It came so fast. I'm not going to talk about it again. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to remind everyone to be a 20%er and think long term. That this price thing, if you check the price every minute of the day, if you get obsessed with the price, if you start overthinking the price, it is just a distraction, a waste of your time, and you're going to lose focus on getting more Bitcoin, which is your long-term goal. You should be valuing your wealth in Bitcoin truly by trying to get more Bitcoin. Don't get into arguments about the price or how you're going to predict the price, what the price is going to be tomorrow, what the price is going to be in a month. Don't worry about it. What you should be thinking about is getting more Bitcoin. Don't be fixated with fiat. And I know the price is hard to ignore. It is in your face. But you can try to balance it out here and slowly just wean yourself off of thinking about the price in terms of dollars. It's not easy. This is not easy stuff because we're used to thinking in that way. Everything's in dollar terms. And I'm going to get caught in it sometimes too. I'm going to talk about the price here. I mean, it's natural. But again, I value my wealth in Bitcoin. I'm trying to get more Bitcoin. I tell you about crypto dividends so you can get more Bitcoin. Monero V1, use that to get more Bitcoin. Use that. And again, going back to the Monero V thing and people trying to call it a scam. Again, you're opting into this thing. It's free. It's free. Okay. It is free. You're not being forced to do it. They're giving it out to you. They're not saying buy Monero V. I'm not saying buy Monero V. I'm saying if you want to do it the right way, you're going to get it for free, then trade it into Bitcoin. There is a lot of FUD out there about this Monero V thing. The more I hear this FUD, the more pro Monero V I become. And again, as all my research has shown now, they're not trying to steal anything from you. They're not trying to ruin you. And and how are they funding it? Well, B Gold had some pre-mine. If they have a pre-mine too, and they're saying they're going to have one, then great. It's not a freaking scam. When someone has a pre-mine, they have to fund these things. And I'm not saying they're having a pre-mine. And I forgot now. You see, that's how much I care about the little teeny pre-mines they add onto these things now that everyone starts screaming and crying about. Dude, you scream and cry. I'll get the free Monero V and turn it into Bitcoin and get more and more Bitcoin. So who's going to end up with more in the end? Who's going to have more wealth in the end? The guy that's screaming and crying about every little problem they have with the crypto dividend that they're probably not even going to get, or the person who is jumping on the opportunity carefully to get a crypto dividend and get more Bitcoin from it. I mean, one day when there are no more crypto dividends in the future, I guess it's a possibility, we're going to look back on these days and be like, oh my God, I could have gotten so much free Bitcoin through these forks from these crypto dividends. And I was like obsessing over little things. And now all these other guys have yachts and stuff. I don't know. All right. So that was a little bit of an add on there. I didn't plan to talk about that. Here we go. So we've got speaking about the mainstream Bitcoin media, and I talk about this often. I'm not a fan of CoinDesk, and today CoinDesk has an article, and I don't link to it because, again, I'm only commenting on it because of the title. Bitcoin isn't the only crypto adding Lightning tech now. Okay, so a lot of if you're familiar with my channel, you should be saying, yeah, that's old news, CoinDesk. Adam, a few weeks ago, was saying how B Gold was adding Lightning Network. Now, in their article, they don't even mention B Gold. They mention Zcash or something adding Lightning Network. I don't even know. But again, I mean, you got to come to my channel here, and you're gonna hear things you're not gonna hear anywhere else. And then, well, you will hear it eventually. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, you're gonna hear it. I mean, CoinDesk will have an article about Monero V like the day before the fork or something like that. And again, the fork date is what, March 14th? I'll be in Montevideo, Uruguay then, by the way. All right, so yeah, another reminder, the mainstream Bitcoin, I mean, it's, they talk about ICO stuff. This is nonsense stuff. I find a lot of the stuff at CoinDesk and these main ones to be just nonsense. And I don't even feel need their articles really. And there, I'm just bringing up an example of their lateness. That's not really a good comment, is it? So it's constructive. Hey guys, don't be late. Watch my channel and learn. So I mean, again, this is a channel for the 20%. That's a publication for the 80%. So I mean, again, we go back to this 20%, 80% thing, and I just encourage you to just always keep it in the back of your mind. Is this a 20% thing to do, or is this an 80% thing to do? And usually the 20% things to do, it takes some thought. It takes some thought. It takes some patience, and you have to defer gratification and just don't be impulsive. That's everything that deals with the 20%. So always keep those thoughts in mind when making any sort of decision, or when reading about a subject matter. I mean, is this a source, a 20% source, an 80% or an 80% source? Speaking about 20% sources, Nick Carter is a guy that I've had on my show before. He's got a great Twitter out there, and he says, and I linked to the tweet below. It's about Ethereum. So that big block, small block schism in Bitcoin, it's about to happen in Ethereum, except with proof of work, proof of stake, and bailouts versus no bailouts. Part 2. Okay. I mean, we've been predicting this for a while. I mean, since 2016, the Tone Bays has been talking about it, the proof of work, proof of stake thing, and the bailout, no bailout. That's how Ethereum Classic was formed. And I used to call it, there's going to be an Ethereum 3 one day. Well, it's supposed to go proof of stake, obviously, but some people are going to want to keep it proof of work. So, and there's people tweeting about it now. And so yeah, anyway, check out that tweet below. This is not the FUD on Ethereum because it's going to survive. It'll just be a third major Ethereum. It'll be classic, regular Ethereum, and state and work Ethereum, whatever you want to call them. And then there'll be the crypto dividend Ethereums and all that stuff. So, all right. So let's talk about 80%ers real quick to wrap up this show. In general, the 80%ers of the world, they don't care about money printing. They don't care about inflation. They just go with the flow. As long as they're getting their free stuff, they're some of them are on welfare, whatever. They got their free phones. They got their big screen TVs, their cheap stuff. That keeps them pacified. Okay, just the comforts of technology of the Western world. I guess I'm talking about the Western world. 80%ers. They don't know the first thing about inflation. They don't care that their dollar gets them less today. So they fall into line, okay? They are easily bought off, and they're the majority. So here you go, guys. People are worried that, the United States is about to start printing, and the whole world is going to end. No, the whole world isn't going to end. The United States will be able to keep printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. They're going to get away with it easily, and everything will stay the same. So you have 2 options. You can scream and cry and make predictions of doom and gloom and how it's all going to go down the toilet, and then when it won't go down the toilet, you'll just be stuck with the 80%ers relying on your government handouts more and more. You'll be more dependent on the government. You'll be poor. Or you can take another option and opt out of the system. You can opt out of that system. I mean, if you're a doom and gloomer, then just opt out of the system. Buy Bitcoin. Buy something that is not affected in a negative way by the inflationary money printing, which the United States will do. The United States, who knows what other plans the Fed has. Able to pull this off since 1913, really, right? And again, I was around in 2008 where everyone was predicting it's the end of the financial system. Yet it wasn't the end. There have been no rebellions in the United States. There have been no armed insurrections. The 80% have just gotten fatter and fatter. And whatever, some of them complain and they vote for Hillary or they vote for Trump as a protest. But their dollars are worth less today. And they keep doing the 401k. They keep investing in the stock market. They just see the short term, the short term, the short term, the short term. And they just get caught more and more in the inflationary system. Their assets become worth less and less. Well, their dollars become worth less and less. They have less and less real assets because big screen TVs that's BS. And fancy SUVs that you lease, it's BS. It's not a real asset. You don't own that. Bitcoin, you really own. Bitcoin goes. Doesn't matter how much they inflate the darn dollar. Your Bitcoin is a limited. It's only going to be 21 million of them. Okay. It is the new thing. It is the lifeboat. It's the way out of that system. But the system is going to continue thanks to our friends, the 80%ers. So be a 20%er. Opt out of it. Don't be or you can be a doom and gloomer and just keep on predicting the whole system is about to fall apart. It's not. It's not. Your dollars are going to be worth less. So what? they're worth less than they were. They're able to get you less than they were in 1980, 1970, 1990, whatever. They're getting away with it. Deal with it. Deal with it by buying Bitcoin. Afraid to break it to you if you just enjoy the doom porns or whatever, but this is reality. And hey, man, the Bitcoin's been very, very good to me. It should be very, very good to you. This is the One Bitcoin Show. Try to get one Bitcoin. I'm Adam Meister. Remember, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the notes section below. Pound that like button. I'll say hi to you guys in chat. Bye-bye.